Sarge, why are the guys giving it to the doggies?
They're riding in trucks, numbskull, while you're marching.
They look pretty badly beat up.
Yeah, they do it dead. Scuttlebutt says it's pretty hard going down south.
Well, we'll find out soon enough. Recon always leads.
How can we fail? Skip with the Shadow leading the show.
Who the fuck is a Shadow?
Lieutenant Phelps, the Shadow of Death.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He's a quiet fucker, Sarge. Never hear the bastard coming.
You're sitting there, field stripping a cigarette, and suddenly he's there looking down on you.
Why do you think we keep saluting that Jap-loving son of a bitch? He's bad juju.
That's enough out of you three. Bad juju? Where were you dragged up? A swamp?
Ah, yes, Cole Phelps, the Shadow of Death. The White Shoe Slaying. Why, what are the odds that we see yet another woman be brutally killed?
Good morning, gentlemen, and what a grand morning it is, too. We have just cause for celebration. Galloway and Phelps are sending another fiend to San Quentin. A nice showy trial, and he'll be strapped down with gas seeping into his tiny reptile brain. Now, to fresh business. Galloway and Phelps, the task is at hand. The address is on the hill, north downtown off Fremont Avenue.
Yay! Someone else got murdered.
Skipper,
now we can do our
is the new letter
jobs.
genuine?
Now, boys, we all know how many imbeciles
California
have
to be a
invested in the short case. Ray Pinker will let us know in good time.
Still haven't solved that Elizabeth Short case. Alright, where are you, Finbar? It's been a while. In fact, it has dawned on me since I last played that I never shouted out
Greetings from sunny California.
Finbar's actor.
I want to stop.
Also, it never rains in Southern California, so this is a treat. But Finbar is played by Michael McBrady, I believe his name is. Speaking of which, where the fuck is he? Get over here, Finbar.
A fine morning indeed. We keep locking them up, but the bodies keep piling up.
Yeah, Californians love a fad, Phelps. As long as the bricks hold up in San Quentin, there'll always be killers in this town to send.
First a letter, and now another body. Come on, you can't keep on telling me there's not a killer still out there.
Whoops.
You know, Phelps, all these arrests on your record are giving you a reputation. You don't want them turning into unsolved.
Getting a vicious killer off the streets is more important than my reputation.
Really?
And besides, landing a big fat marlin is more impressive than an ocean full of minnows.
The minnows.
That's not what's
make
important,
it
though,
mad.
Phelps.
But you can't always hit home runs. Sometimes you just gotta make first base.
All units in the vicinity in any central unit. The 211 is shots fired, 410 South Flower Street. Units that can handle code 3 identified.
I do not want to imagine what it would be like to solve a street crime in this weather, so no thanks.
That guy there will lead us up.
Come on, load. Oh, no, wait, I'm following this guy? I've never driven to this. Okay, that's what he meant. He'll lead us up.
I'm steeling myself for what I'm about to see.
That'll just be another dead body. You're used to seeing them. There's a gig when you're working homicide.
There we go. I guess there is some value to driving to these cases yourself. I don't think we would have gotten that dialogue otherwise. But this feels more like a we're about to see a dead body weather. It's not as effective when it's like your fourth case on homicide or whatever.
Detectives?
Phelps and Galloway, homicide.
Scene secure. The rest of the patrolmen are going door to door, canvassing for witnesses.
Thanks. Keep me informed.
Will do, Detective.
This looks awfully familiar.
I think that's the impression the boys from the Examiner took with them as well.
There's nothing original under the sun. Why should murder be any different?
What do we have so far?
Not much trace evidence to speak of. Storm blew in around 10 last night, and the rain washed most of it away.
And the body?
Looks like she was tipped out of an automobile from the tire tracks and superficial injuries. Strangled with a length of rope. And for my money, it's triple braid again.
Time of death?
From her temperature, maybe 2 a.m., but it was cold last night.
Usual head injuries.
Blunt force trauma. Knock him over the head, then strangle and mutilate. No message with this one.
At least she was left clothed.
I doubt very much he was concerned with her dignity.
The green silk dress is very distinctive. Any sign of her other shoe?
No. And no handbag or other personal effects.
You notice how, like, nervous Rusty was during that scene? What was with him, like, grabbing his arm?
Nothing significant.
Should have kept it for yourself, Phelps. It's not significant. And it's ours to take. I'd be a terrible cop.
Our driver and our killer are most likely one and the same.
No shit.
No drag marks. The killer was moving around, surveying the scene.
Did you notice how these, like, shoe textures were just floating on top of the ground there when the camera zoomed in? Anything else at the perimeter, maybe? Nothing that's been tagged? Nope, don't care. Alright, let's check out that body. Which is not naked for once. Missing any jewelry, ma'am? No, not on this hand. None on this one either. So this one is a little bit different. Oh, laundry tag.
There appears to be a dry cleaning label. Superior Laundry Services, F1363.
Thankfully, this dirtbag happened to have dropped the body right next to a police call box. What do we have over here?
Detectives, I've been
Hey,
working at
Gonzalez.
houses across the street and up the block. This lady thinks she has something for us.
Detective Phelps, LAPD.
I'm Mrs. Barton, Catherine Barton. I live just across the way.
Did you see anyone around here last night?
Not last night, but yesterday, early evening, I saw that awful hobo.
Hobo, person of interest.
Do you have a description?
Tall, gaunt, horribly disfigured. I think he may have had an accident in the war. He's a very scary, angry man.
Any idea where we might find him?
One of the hobo camps around here. He's some kind of hobo leader. They all follow him around.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been a big help.
Of course. Anything I can do to help. I'd hate to think that something so ghastly could happen right here and nothing be done about it.
Alright, back to my phone call. Whoa, that was weird, Phelps. Can I get him to do it again? Yeah. Thankfully, Donnelly's not around to see me acting like a fool.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Detective?
I need an address on Superior Laundry Services.
Just a moment. Superior Laundry Services, 1260 West 1st Street.
Can you track down reports of hobo camps in the vicinity of Signal Hill?
Just a moment, Detective.
Now, this is some impressive intel we're getting right here.
There's a large camp under the bridge on Grand between Temple.
How is that information within, like, arm's reach
Thanks
of
for
her?
your help.
Incredible. Alright, Finbar. Let's get a move on. Oh, wait. He's already there. He beat me to it, motherfucker. I don't feel like driving.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Dry cleaning.
Officer shop 103 and
The AC. No message.
Excuse me?
There was no message.
Where?
On the Vic. The last bodies had something written on them. This one didn't.
I'm failing to follow you.
Can't be the same guy is what I'm saying, right? Before you start trying to link this to Maldonado and all the others.
There are more factors to consider than the messages, Rusty.
This doesn't fit your pattern, Cole. End of conversation. Understand?
He is desperate to have none of these murders link up to the Elizabeth Shore case. Nice looking place.
At least the rain stopped. You can change back into those white bucks now.
Please, I have business.
That was weird.
Galloway, LAPD. We're investigating a case, and one of your laundry labels came up. F1363.
If you give me a minute, I'll go find a register and you can take a look. You take a look for yourself. I've got clothes that need pressing.
You wrote the number down on that dress, is it there?
It's 1363, right? So, here we go. Tarleton. 43 Emerald.
Mrs. T.
Tarleton, whatever.
43 Emerald Street, Westlake.
Wait, doesn't this motherfucker have a phone like right here? Oh no, I guess we already have the address. We wouldn't need to call anything in. There's also one right there.
Can you drive to this one?
And where exactly are we going?
To the place I just learned about. I wonder if I can drive that yellow construction thing.
I've got a feeling we're about to meet another wife.
You've always got that feeling, Rusty.
Yeah, and it's usually correct.
Please, please, for once, can you not let your assumptions color your detective work?
Just you wait. Nordic types show a particular disposition for this stuff.
This case is really easy to remember because there's one big tip, and that is to not go to the hobo camp when you learn about it. Just don't go. That much I remember. Nice tricycle. I hope I get to scream at those little girls right there.
Hello? Yes?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. Is your wife home, sir?
My wife went out last night and she hasn't come home.
Can you describe your wife and what she was wearing?
We were out at a friend's place, Bobby Ross's, for a party. She was kind of dolled up. She had her green silk dress, open-toed white shoes. Those are her favorite shoes.
Can we come in, Mr. Tarleton? I'm afraid we have some rather bad news.
The bad news is that the textures of your kitchen were late to load
You
in.
have someone who can look after your children, Mr. Tarleton?
I've been trying to arrange a sitter. Look, tell me what's happened.
I'm afraid your wife was murdered last night. Her body was found this morning. We're very sorry for your loss. I know this is a difficult time, Mr. Tarleton, but we are going to need you to answer some questions. First, we're going to take a look around.
What for? You don't think
it's procedure. You see to your girls.
They're like, we don't want to hang out with you.
Stay here till Daddy's finished talking to these men.
Where's Mommy?
Everything's gonna be all right, sweetheart.
We would like Mommy to come home now, Daddy.
What's the problem, Tarleton? Let him search. You got nothing to hide.
Why is there a phone call to
something
make
funny,
here?
Tarleton? Some bums think filling out a missing persons report actually rules him out as a suspect.
I thought he was going to pick up that Oliver Twist book.
Doesn't give me anything to go on.
I've never seen that book before. Oh, look at the textures load in on this thing.
Seems irrelevant.
I just know those little girls are the culprits. Okay, what about here? I honestly don't remember what I'm supposed to find in this house. Okay, I remember one thing. No, wait, what is that? Purse. Can I pick that up?
Circumstantial.
Circumstantial that you own this purse. Okay, yeah, what's weird about this is that,
if you'd excuse me, ladies.
You have to, like, get in the girl's way even though they, like, get led away from you. Same purse. Interesting.
So she went out without her handbag?
It makes no sense for him to open this one and not the other one.
She'd have to be in quite a state to leave this behind.
Lipstick.
At least she was spared that particular indignity.
Want to feel pretty, Colps? Colps? You're Colps now, Cole Phelps. Colps? Where is it? Here we go. That's not blood, that's a reflection.
Art was out in the rain last
It
night.
looks like blood, though. It's just the flannel's red. But I know there is something really important that's on the outside. The fact that this guy has a boat. Super suspicious that you have a boat, sir. What? Okay, there we go. This is the same type of rope that's been used. I can't remember if it was last case before or something, but when we went to Carruthers and they were having that conversation of like, well, where's this kind of rope used? And they're like, well, it's maritime or something, I don't know. It's used on boats or shipyards. Someone said something like that. Let's go use that police box. Actually, no, it's not. That thing's all the way across the fucking street. Alright, excuse me, sir. I have no idea what I'm calling in right now.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Can you run an address for a Bobby Ross? Then send some
Oh,
uniforms
right.
over.
Where the party
Would you like
was.
him picked up?
No. Suspect says he was with Ross last night. We need to confirm the alibi.
I'll get a prowl car dispatched.
Thanks.
But I still haven't found everything, right? Is this important? Yeah, it is.
To check if she was a regular.
Baron's Bar. What have I missed?
I'll be out of your way momentarily, ladies.
Want to use that intuition point? I don't feel like searching for this last thing. Intuition, there we go. Been a while. Show all those clues. 4 remaining? Holy shit. Oh, his shoes. Yeah, that might be important.
You can see if Pinker can match the impression to the crime scene.
Alright, we got muddy boots. Size 8s. Apparently that's all I needed to find, even though, didn't it just say there were 4 remaining? What's the other thing here? It's in that room. Oh, it's in the same match. So you can find it in multiple places, just like the first case in the game, I believe.
Someone must be real sweet on this dive.
Oh, there's something else there, too. Photograph?
I wonder why the picture was turned down.
Ooh, wedding problems. Marriage problems. I've never seen this before. That's a detail that I've never picked up on. And it doesn't look like the map's going to load back in. Nice. Nice of them to throw in that wedding photo so that you can have like something to cast doubt on this guy.
For the record, Mr. Terrellson, what is your wife's name?
Teresa.
We saw that on the driver's license, Cole.
Do you have any idea why anyone would want to hurt your wife?
No. Everyone loved Teresa. She was so full of life. It can't be anyone who knew her.
Hold on, let me look at that. No, not the notebook. Log. Any idea who would want to hurt your wife? No, everyone loved her. But the thing I responded to was like possible suspects. But he's a possible suspect, right?
I think you're lying, Lars. I think you were mad at your wife for embarrassing you in front of your friends. I think you came back here and strangled her and then dumped her body on the hill.
You think I strangled my wife? How do you expect to prove that?
Well, you own the rope that matches the rope that killed her, as well as a bunch of other women.
Your wife was strangled with triple braid rope. The bow line from your boat is a perfect match.
Look, I know this looks bad. I'm gonna have to come to terms with the fact that I let her go.
You said you went to a party at Bobby Ross's place?
That's right, Bobby had a bunch of people over. We were having a good time. She said she was bored and decided to leave.
He looks a little dowdy right now. We have nothing that refutes his alibi, because we called in to have it checked on.
You let your drunk wife leave the party and go off on her own?
Look, I was angry. I was having a good time. She has to go and ruin it. We always have to do what she wants to do. Last night she wanted to go dancing.
Any idea where?
Where she always goes. A bar down on North Beaudry Avenue. Baron's Bar. She goes there, drinks too much, gets maudlin, and calls me. I go and bring her home.
Mr. Terrellson, was Teresa happy at home?
Yeah, I think she was.
Yeah. We didn't have any problems. Unfortunately, well, I guess the photograph is circumstantial. That's why Cole doesn't add it to the notebook, but we don't have like hard evidence, but you're not telling the truth.
Spill it, Terrellson. We like the look of you for this, so you better give us something.
We're at the party. She has a few and says she wants to go out dancing. We only have the sitter until 9. I get mad. I tell her to go ahead, but I'm staying. She storms out. Look, I'm doing well at cards. I hardly ever do well. I married her because she was so much fun, but now she drives me fucking crazy.
What time did she leave the party?
About 8:30, maybe a little earlier.
All right, a little bit of a pro tip here. If your wife is ever murdered and you are not the culprit, don't tell the police she drives me fucking crazy. Especially when you're a suspect. Don't do it.
When was the last time you saw your wife?
Around 8:30. The card game at Bobby's was wrapping up. I played out my hand and drove home here. I paid the sitter and went to bed.
We know it's not that simple. Why are your clothes in the kitchen, like, drenched in rain water? What's up with that?
You're lying, Lars. You didn't come straight home, did you?
And how do you figure that?
Well,
you were
it's
out
more of an
rain.
overshirt. It's not a jacket.
Soap, Lars. We found your wet weather gear.
Okay, I stayed a little later than I said. This cute little brunette was hitting on me. Teresa noticed. I was half cut. I walked her home from Bobby's, but nothing happened. I walked back and got the car this morning.
Thanks for answering our questions, Mr. Terrellson. You'll need to go downtown to identify your wife's body.
I should have taken her dancing.
In my experience, Mac, if you give in to broads, you'll be giving in to them your entire
Shut up,
life.
Finbar.
Sounds like the Terrellson broad had her last drink at Baron's Bar. We should check the place out.
Appreciate your time, sir.
You believe this guy's story?
Kind of rings true.
You're
Let's go to
behind
that
the wheel.
bar.
Fine.
Get
Where are we
hyped,
headed?
Finbar. Aw, no conversation. You don't want to talk more shit on the husband, Finbar? That's his argument too. That's like, well, no, you shouldn't have taken her dancing. Why risk possibly preventing her murder when you could potentially have to give her stuff for the rest of your life? Ooh, cool logo. I'd drink there.
The tuna fish and the chicken.
Gents, drink?
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD.
I'm Benny Clough. It's about
How do you
Teresa
already know
Terrelson?
that?
Yes, it is.
I heard about it
Okay.
on the radio. They're saying it was that Black Dahlia freak again? God damn it. Yeah, I rang that husband of hers. The babysitter said he was out.
If you don't mind, we have a few questions. What time did Teresa leave?
Around 10:30, I think.
All right.
On foot? In a car? By bus? How was it?
She called for a cab.
Did you get the number?
Sure I did. I like Teresa. The only time she has a drink is when things aren't going so good at home. I was worried about her.
This is pretty helpful.
Put out an APB on the cab. 3591. Should be traceable.
All right.
Who was she with? We've had reports about a tall, gaunt-looking hobo. He wasn't here last night?
I get plenty of bums in here, but nothing to fit that description.
Why do you look so unsure about whether or not you've seen this particular hobo?
The likelihood is that whoever she left here with killed her. Give it up, Benny.
All right, two creeps were all over her, promising to take her dancing.
You get a good look at these guys?
Sure. I got a good look. One of them was a sailor in uniform. His cap said, USS Indiana.
And the other man?
The other guy is Richard Bates. He's sitting in the back right now. Red polo shirt.
Any idea where she was headed?
Nope. I didn't get that.
The husband said she wanted to go dancing.
And she always wants to dance when she's been drinking. She was trying to talk some guys into taking her to one of the dance halls.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Clough. We'll take it from here.
Hey, no problem.
This is Bates.
That's him.
LAPD. Don't make me chase you, shitbird.
Why are you running from us?
Can't let the son of a bitch get away.
We're the cops. It's like such an admission of guilt.
Bates! We just want to talk.
Got a ride.
Thankfully, this guy just happened to have gotten out of his car. Come on, come on. Ah, I wanted to be able to take off without Rusty.
You were gonna leave me there.
Who knows what this guy will pull when he's cornered? We could have a killer on our hands.
Got a guy who isn't great at driving.
I don't think the killer would be kicking back in the bar where he met the Vic in.
Listen, a creature of habit is your killer. For some reason, they're sticklers for routine.
Eat shit, lady.
Come on, Phelps.
I
You're
lost
letting
him.
this lust get away from you.
Yep, this is our first failed driving mission.
He's showing you how it's done. Maybe you shouldn't have waited for me, Phelps.
Oh, I caught up. Nice. I tried not to wait for you, motherfucker.
Don't go to sleep on me. Give me back in close.
Get the tires, Rusty. Yeah, all right. That was sick.
All right, got it. I've had enough.
Put your hands in the air! Okay, Bates. You're gonna answer some questions.
I have a choice in this.
Why are we doing this right now? Like, this fucker just evaded arrest and crashed in the middle of an intersection.
Last night, you went drinking with a lady in the bar. Now she's dead. And your face is all messed up.
I'm in
What
the
is he
clear on
carrying?
that.
Does he have a
She
bat?
preferred a sailor. You could lay it off on him. Are we finished?
Show Rusty again. I want to, what the fuck was that shit? He just like came over here with a broomstick or something.
Do you want my partner to sap you?
He's the
Tell
baton.
us what
He has a
we want
baton.
to know.
She was okay. Drunk. Pissed off at her old man, wanting to go dancing. I thought I'd ply her with a few drinks and get my end away. Looks like your salty had the same idea.
Oh, Turns out that ditching Finbar at the start of that chase sequence is not the best thing. I just heard the tire screech. It's back.
So what happened when you left the bar?
Sailor Boy laid one on me. A cheap shot. After that, I don't know.
You've done time, haven't you, Richard? Is that why you ran?
I'm on parole.
On what
offense? Sexual assault.
It's looking good for you.
I was lying there on the sidewalk. He flags a cab and jumps in with the broad.
We're taking you in, Bates.
How come?
Just for a chat. Nice private chat. I'll explain my theory of once a degenerate, always a degenerate.
Take him to Central. He's a material witness in a murder case. Find him a cozy cell.
Richard here knows the drill.
I wonder if the first time I did that, I actually did ditch Rusty at the start of the chase. I don't recall him having a baton. That was great.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
Oh, yeah, the tire screech is back.
How can I help, Detective?
I need an APB out on a yellow cab, number 3591. Ask dispatch to relay all sightings to car 11K.
No problem. I'll get on the radio.
Were there any incident reports filed in the vicinity of Barron's Bar on North Beaudry Avenue? We're tracking a sailor who was involved in a fight outside the bar.
I can check the reports, Detective. I have a message for you from Captain Donnelly. Message reads, James Jessup, U.S. Navy able seaman, has information relevant to your case. Jessup is currently being detained at Central Station.
Could be our man. Thank you.
That's a good sailor right there. Here he like came to the police to be like, I need to do something about this. Where the hell is Shackelford? Shackelford? That's not his name. Is it? No, it's Galloway. That is the wrong Rusty.
You know the way. You can drive.
And where exactly are we going?
Shackelford, Rusty, Shackelford. All right, let's go talk to this Jessup guy. Why did that... Okay, that was weird. That car acted strangely. Like, I'm gonna wait for you to get in, and then I'm going to pull up alongside you and get even closer than I need to. Come on, load times. Let's get there. Let's talk to our sailor suspect.
He's in interview 2.
Got it.
Thanks. What do you make of him?
Sailor on furlough who looks like he's in trouble and knows it.
Here we are. That's a sailor.
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. We know why you're here, Jessup, so it would be best if you answered our questions truthfully.
I don't want any trouble. That's why I'm here. I heard on the radio about this lady getting killed. I got leave from my CO to come down straight away.
So why did you kill her?
I didn't kill anyone. Look, you need to believe me.
Let's start at the beginning. You went to Barron's Bar. What time did you arrive?
I got a 24-hour pass. I got there around 7.
That's where you met Teresa Terrelson?
Sure. We had a couple of drinks.
Okay, why did you come to me if you weren't going to tell me the whole truth?
So you tried to make a woman who was incredibly drunk?
Look, I'm not proud of myself, but I never hurt her.
You took her dancing?
That's right. I caught a cab to the Crystal Ballroom.
You had a fist fight with Richard Bates over Mrs. Terrelson.
You met the guy? He's a creep. You should take a look at him for this.
Sailor, you're not the best liar.
He's pointing the finger directly at you, Jessup.
I only had one night before I was back in the tub. He had all the time in the world to look for some action. I belted him. I'd do it again. She was better off with me.
Sure. You're a shining example of chivalry, Jessup.
Well...
We're holding you till we can clear this with the driver.
Yeah, my CO said as much.
Can you put the guy in 2 in a cell and inform the commander?
Sure, Detective. Got a message for you.
Sighting of your disfigured hobo on Grand between Temple and Sunset. And it looks like the Beau has a record, too. He's wanted in connection with 2 female assaults.
Thanks.
Looking good for the hobo. I got lost for a second. I was like, where's the exit?
You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Let's go get us some
We ought to
hobo.
investigate the hobo lead.
Well, if you think we ought to, then I guess we ought. 3 suspects in the can and 1 on the hoof. And still no hard evidence on any of them.
Yeah, so far we have 3 suspects. Potentially a 4th.
11K, go ahead.
Patrolman reporting that Bobby Ross's car game is breaking up at midnight.
11K, roger that. Plenty of time to get downtown, Cole.
It's possible. Have them bring him in.
KGPL, could we have Lars Terrelson picked up?
Whoa, that was weird. That guy super teleported. Fucking Finbar came in with a shotgun.
LAPD. We'd like a word with you.
Save it for someone who's interested. They're fascists. Come to move us on and steal what little we have left.
6 rounds won't get us far.
I need you to stay copacetic.
Good job bringing that shotgun.
To hold out to the cavalry line.
How do we do that?
Like this.
That's super not fucking up the fucking code.
If you want your rightful share,
Your disciples know what you did last night?
Whoa, motherfucker. That's for taking off my hat.
Son of a bitch and the rest of his ass.
What's your name?
Comrade Stalin.
Very funny. We'll find out from your personal effects.
Stuart Ackerman.
You're under suspicion for murder, Ackerman. We're taking you downtown.
You can't do anything more to me than what the Japanese have already done.
Also, he's dressed very nicely for a hobo. Even got a vest. And he was not actually horribly disfigured like we heard. At least he didn't seem to be. Just kind of gangly.
Kremlin's over here, Phelps. Toss it and see what you find.
Don't think this is any use to us.
Especially because it's like a character model photoshopped onto a background. But you know what might be of use to us? This green coin purse. With initials on it. And... what? There we go.
Ackerman doesn't look like much of a dancer.
The Crystal Ballroom. Also, it's his braided rope with blood on it.
Looks familiar. Safe bet it'll match the mark under Teresa Terrelson's chin.
Hello. Been a while. Missing morphine. Cops say goons fighting dope war.
Still working, Jack. I'm off to the Lighthouse Club in Santa Monica.
Jack Kelso.
Hello, Jack.
It's the guy in a lot of Cole's war flashbacks.
Mrs. Courtney Sheldon. He's a buddy of mine from the war.
Well, I'm sure you two will want to polish some old war stories. Good evening, Jack. Mr. Sheldon.
Good night, sir. Take a seat, Courtney.
We need your help, Jack.
I told you I would have nothing to do with that.
I'm fine too, Jack. Medical school's going well. I got a part-time job.
Do dope peddlers need part-time jobs?
We made a mistake and we're in trouble, Jack. A local gangster, Mickey Cohen, is putting on the squeeze.
So hand it over, walk away. What's stopping you?
We had a deal with them that they would dole it out slowly. They said they would supply abortion clinics and doctors, but they've been moving it on to addicts, and they can't cope with the purity.
So your problem is with gangsters being dishonest.
My problem is that people are dying, and that if this gets back to us, we'll all end up in jail.
So how am I supposed to help, Courtney? This isn't the war. I can't just wave a magic wand and clean up your mess.
We want you to negotiate, Jack.
The only thing these guys understand is force, Sheldon. They got to the top back east by proving to be more vicious than the English, the Irish, and the Dutch. They make their own laws. That's the nature of a secret society. God's sake, Courtney, you want to be a doctor. How can you fight with that?
We are better trained, Jack.
I didn't make it through the war to come back to this kind of shit, Sheldon.
Well, there you go. Well, we know that Kelso made it through the war now. Kelso's kind of important. That's why he's in all those flashbacks, and he's like Cole's rival or whatever. The fuck was that? Also no music. So I assume I got everything. Now thankfully, teleporting guy, he did not get shot in that scrum. I might have done some of this stuff out of order. This case has like a weird, like, way of getting the maximum rank. Where the hell is Finbar? I see his dot, and there he is. Come on, you drunk son of a bitch who plainly murdered someone. Alright, let's get back to Central.
The husband has an alibi, but no real motive other than neglect. Jessup's alibi checks out. Bates is a recidivist. He'll be pulling the same stick until we put him away for good. Ackerman has history, opportunity, hard evidence. What motive?
We have the evidence. We know she was here. All we need is a confession, and we can charge the bum with murder.
Oh yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. I messed up, but it's alright. I don't know if I'll get 4 stars on this case or not. At the end of the results screen, it might say that I missed some clues or potential questions. Only because I never got to like find them or ask those questions. I'm not sure. I'm just driving on, coming traffic here. Oh, wait, here it is. It's happening.
3591, sighted at the corner of Wilshire and Whitmer. Repeat, Wilshire and Whitmer, 11K.
Where's that cab got you now?
It'd be great if it would mark it on my map.
$11K, further on your APB on yellow cab number 3591. Vehicle identified at Reggie's Cafe, heading north on Whitmer. KGPL clear.
Is this a bug? Why is it not being marked on my map? Maybe I have to set it in locations? No. Well, I have a map. I don't think I've ever opened it on camera. Where is... See, now if I was from Los Angeles, this would be a lot easier to figure out. That's super weird. I seem to recall that the way this works is that you have to be driving during this case yourself. You can't just leave it up to Finbar. And then between like locations, this exact thing happens. Ooh, what's this? Oh, it's a crime scene. Oh, that's the original crime scene. Got it. That's actually where we started. And then like between locations, you get the call on dispatch that are like, yo, we found your cab. It's this place. And eventually you track it down and you track the driver down. And you can ask the driver some questions. And I think it counts towards your final score. And that's why getting like a perfect score on this case can be a little bit difficult. I'm gonna keep driving around. See what happens.
Call 11K, your suspect.
What, that's him there.
Yeah,
Bill.
we found
Hit
him.
the siren.
LAPD, we're investigating a murder.
What's that got to do with me?
The fare you picked up from Barron's bar last night. What was the woman wearing?
It's a green dress. Oh, don't tell me something's happened to her.
Tell me about her.
She was with this sailor, and he was all over her. She wasn't having any of it. Said she just wanted to dance. But he had that look in his eye.
Where did you drop them off?
It was at the Crystal Ballroom.
What time?
After midnight. 12:30? Something like that.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
Well, that's gonna ruin my day.
Well, that wasn't worth it. I think I was supposed to do that way earlier. That also got really complicated to where they were giving me like street names that don't appear on the map.
Drive.
This is awkward. We parked too close to that pole, so I have to get in before he does on the same side. But we did it. Yeah, they were. I think the last street I got was like Loma, and I was like, where the fuck is that? That's not on the map. So I had to Google Maps it, and I was like, okay, I'm really close to where it is in actuality. What the fuck? How did I end up here?
Goddamn Harry thinks he could get fresh whenever
You drive.
he pleases.
I need to go over the
messed
case
up.
notes.
And where exactly
Going to the
are we
police
going?
station. That should do it. Something tells me that the case results they're not going to be the best. Central Police.
We're going this way.
What the fuck are we supposed to be doing right now? Interview room 1, maybe? Yeah.
Ackerman, you were in the Marines.
How do you know?
The Corps selected big guys for flamethrower duty. That's how you got the burns.
Life expectancy was 5 minutes for a guy in flamethrower detail. What kind of a government puts weight like that on a man's shoulders?
You'll get no argument from me. It was a heavy load.
You feeling sorry for this smelly fuck?
Why did you kill Mrs. Terrellson?
I have no recollection of the people I have killed.
That is not the best lie to tell.
Are you denying that you strangled Mrs. Terrellson with a length of rope?
I'm not denying anything. You have to have proof.
Except for that bloody rope that was in your room. Where is that? Yeah.
We found a matching piece of rope in your lean-to. I think we'll find the blood will match too.
I own no property. How could it belong
Shut the
to me?
fuck up.
A bus driver dropped Mrs. Terrellson near your camp around 2 a.m. Why did you take her up to the hill?
Which hill? I have many places. I go where I please.
You are clearly insane, Ackerman. The state of California does not execute mental patients.
I don't know the names of the women I've killed, but I've killed many of them. Their necks are so fragile.
Stuart Ackerman, I am charging you with the murder of Teresa Terrellson.
Well, that was easy. I think that was the guy from the last case. That was Clem? That's his name?
A man down on his luck I can abide. But a filthy red who chooses to live outside the rules of society I cannot stomach. Maybe poor Teresa Terrellson will provide the catalyst we need. I've spoken to the chief and the mayor, and I think it's time we send some men in to remove the godless and send them on their way over the county line. A grand day that will be, gentlemen. And a grand result you have brought me. You two are fast becoming my finest crusaders.
Ooh, I missed a lot of clues there. Let me look at this. Well, I'll look for the trivia, but what did I screw up? Okay, there's like an entire location that I didn't go to. Oh, the bus depot. Yeah, I remember that. Somehow, does that lead to us following a bus? Or is that a different case? Yeah, I remember that. There's a part in this case where you end up having to like follow a bus route, and then you pull over the bus driver. Interesting. Man, this is all kinds of weird. The bus driver who delivered Teresa to her death might have liked a chance to testify. So yeah, where did I like miss that opportunity? Also, it would seem that my interview with James Jessup didn't go the way it was supposed to. There were more questions you get to ask him that I didn't have the opportunity to because I guess I didn't have there's something beforehand that I didn't do correctly. Interesting. Alright, let's look up that trivia. This case is loosely based on the real-life 1947 murder of Laurel Treldstadt. That is kind of close in terms of names. For information, blah, blah, blah. There are a number of technical inaccuracies surrounding the sailor James Jessup. The bartender describes him as wearing a hat bearing the name USS Indiana. Although before World War II, U.S. Navy sailors had worn a blue wool Donald Duck or flat hat similar to that of the Royal Navy, with the ship's name on the ribbon encircling the band. From 1941, ribbons bearing ships' names were discontinued in favor of the generic U.S. Navy, and by 1947, the flat hat itself was rarely worn. When interviewed, Jessup has the correct white, unmarked Dixie cup or Popeye hat on the table. He is described as an able seaman, a rank which existed in the British and Australian Royal Navies, but not the U.S. Navy. His insignia marks him as a boatswain's mate 3rd class. This error and the one above may reflect the Australian development team ascribing Anglo-Australian naval practices on the U.S. Navy. Yeah, as soon as I read that, I was like, fucking Australian team didn't know the U.S. Navy protocol. Can hardly blame them. He says the USS Indiana is being scrapped when historically Indiana wasn't sold for scrapping until 1963. Although she was decommissioned a reserve in September 1947, this was done at Bremerton, Washington, not San Pedro. When a naval vessel is scrapped, she no longer has a full crew, but retains a skeleton crew. The discrepancy is possibly explained as the shipping in port to be decommissioned by having her armaments removed. When Phelps is done interrogating Stuart Ackerman, a police officer throws him in a holding cell, and Clem Feeney, the prime suspect from the previous case, the silk stocking murder, can be seen in the cell next to Ackerman's. He was also wearing a really nice suit, which he didn't have the last time we saw him. If one follows the patrol car taking Catherine Barton home, the route will take them under the overpass on Figueroa Street. Here a man will commit suicide and land next to the player's vehicle. After this, the patrol car will continue and infinitely circle the block with Charleston residents on it. What the fuck? That's weird. Through some incorrect answers to questions, the player cannot learn the bus lead. Yet Cole will still mention this during the Stuart and Ackerman interrogation, seemingly without prior knowledge of it. That's not what happened to us. And also, I didn't technically get any questions wrong. I just did things in the wrong order. At least I don't think I got questions wrong. Yeah, I got 14 of 14 correct, that's what it says. I just didn't get the clues that would lead me to checking out the bus depot. But we got our guy in the end. They should look into this Ackerman dude, potentially for the other cases, because he says he's killed a bunch of women. How weird. Alright, when we pick up next time, more fun times on Homicide. Yay!